Hey guys, it's Aseem Sharma, training manager from Solframe Consulting. Again, I do hope you're all well. Today I'm going to explore something which I had explored before, and I say this a lot, don't I? But it's regarding salary negotiation. So I think this is important because, given the pandemic and a lot of economic turmoil, which can be very cyclical, so it can happen when there's a recession or whatever. A lot of employers, not all of them, but a lot of them, they tend to. I'll be very candid here. They tighten up their purses, and it's not always necessary. And even pre-pandemic times, again, I'm speaking from personal experience, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to this, especially in India. And I know for a fact that it doesn't happen in all nations, and there are laws against this as well. There's no specific law, I think, which it contravenes this kind of culture, what I'm going to talk about now, what I'm referring to, but it's not a good practice, and I frown upon it. So essentially, you apply for a job. Sometimes they will specify what the salary range is, or there's a fixed remuneration. Other times they won't. They may say salary is no bar for the right candidate. These may be familiar terms to you, or competitive, or not disclosed. Do some market research. So let's say you are applying to be a content writer. Do some market research. How much do content writers typically get paid on average in India? And that can be quite varied. Or if it's at a managerial position, then search that. And there are different portals like Indeed and Glassdoor, and you can have an idea. Then again, salaries can really vary to the tune quite, wildly, to the tune of sometimes double or triple. So, it depends. You could be working as a manager in one company and at the same designation doing pretty much the same thing at another company, yet the salary difference is maybe twofold, maybe even more. And that doesn't necessitate that the former company that's paying you less is underpaying you. So you have to be careful. But what I'm trying to get at here, the key point is, typically when you are speaking to the HR or they're making an offer, or it's a preliminary screening, they'll ask you, what are your expectations? And sometimes you feel put in the spot, and this has happened to me, and I've lost opportunities this way. I'm sharing personal experience with you here. Someone cornered me, and I wasn't that experienced then, and they said, no, I want a figure, and it becomes a bit aggressive, and I don't appreciate that. And again, I'm not being discriminative here whatsoever, but let's face it, a lot of HRs tend to be female, and as a guy, if you start asserting yourself, sometimes owing to cultural differences, people get the wrong idea that you're being aggressive. I've had that as well, when actually you're just asserting yourself. So the point is, what is your market value? How much experience you have? What are your living expenses? And a good friend has mentioned and advised me these things. Something he advised, which I'm not going to mention here because that is perhaps a little controversial. But what I would say is, don't disclose your previous salary. They'll ask you for your pay slips. They'll say that without that, how are we supposed to know? I've had this. People have said to me, how are we supposed to know how much to pay you? And then I say, hang on, you've just given me 2 written assessments, you've grilled me for 3 interview rounds, you've taken me through an aptitude test, and now you're asking me how much I'm worth? So what was the purpose of doing those things? Maybe you don't want to say exactly that way because that sounds a bit sarcastic, but still. So what is the purpose of doing that if, you end up saying that, listen, you were underpaid somewhere else, so I'm going to underpay you as well, and I can get away with it. That doesn't condone it. Or perhaps, I wouldn't say you overpaid, but okay, you were paid well at a previous company, and say, oh God, you're an expensive resource. Well, then why are they interested in taking it further? Obviously something you must have done correctly in terms of fitting their profile, your communication skills, your experience, what you can bring to the organization, all of these things. So I would always say, put your foot down, never disclose your salary. And if someone says, no, we have to, say that, okay, well, that's fine. If that's what you also want to do, like most other people do, that's fine. I really don't want to be part of such an organization because this is how much. And drawing your true market value in terms of your experience, in terms of average pay. And again, let's say, I'm just giving you an example, okay? let's say the average pay of a content writer is, I don't know, 5 lakhs or something. In Indian currency, I'm referring to right now, 500,000 rupees for our foreign viewers. You've applied for something and you feel that, look, hey, I'm really good at that, or I have an idea about, average pay at this company as well. Maybe I know someone, things like that. So then that also, makes it imperative for you to say that, listen, this may be the average, but I expect to be paid on the higher end because of X, Y, and Z. Don't falter, don't hesitate, just get on with it. And if people don't want you, and you get a lot of rejections because of that, it doesn't work out. It's happened to me. I mean, I was interviewed for one kind of position. They gave me a task and they were very happy with what I did. They said, but actually, we think you would be better at a managerial role. I said, okay, great. This was at the beginning of the pandemic. I had just been retrenched from my full-time training job. And then, this is going back to what I was saying. I was finally cornered and I said, listen, a manager should be earning somewhere between this and this. And, she kind of really cornered me and became quite stern that, look, what do you expect? And I said, see, I'm open to negotiation, but what if you could pay me this much? And, she kind of scoffed at it, gave a very sarcastic comment, and then I said, what were you thinking then? Let me know. And then she quoted, I don't know, about 30% less than that, which wasn't a huge difference. And then I said, okay, fair enough, if that's the maximum you can go to. And then she had given me so much praise and everything. And then she called me back 5 minutes later, and she made some comments which were hurtful, but I think that's made me a stronger person. Hey, it all happens. I was surprised though, because she was like, a managing director, and I didn't expect that. She was very sophisticated, otherwise it seemed so anyway. But then again, people reveal their true colors. She said, Aseem, you fake your accent, which is not true. This is native to me. I learned English before Hindi, and I've spent most of my life in the UK, hence I sound British. I said, okay, carry on. She said that you don't listen to people. I just asked her, can you give me some constructive feedback? Can you give me an example where I didn't listen to you and what I should have done? She was quiet, she had nothing to say, which I disagree with, especially during the interview process. I think I'm a very good listener and I absorb things quite well. And there was another thing she said, so it was very demoralizing. I said, ma'am, if you had to call me up and kind of, avenge for, I don't know, being insulted that I overquoted a figure, then that's not really right, is it? So let's just leave it at that. I remained cordial, but I said I didn't expect this from you. So it's fine to, be open and straightforward and say, hey, this is disappointing. Why are you behaving like this? It's happened. Lots of things have happened. I'm not going to bore you with my experiences. Point is, do not disclose your salary to people. That's what I would say. No one has the right to see your pay slips unless you're applying for a loan or a credit card or it's some tax-related issue. If more people actually did this, and that I'm right, I'm not boasting here, this is the way it should be done, right, then I think we'd all be better paid, we'd be fairly paid. I'm not going to say much, but I've seen some people are overpaid, I would say. There are some people, all right. Arguably, celebrities can be overpaid, or maybe people have very high positions at big companies. I'm not going to really name anyone, you know what I'm talking about. And then there are some people who do a lot of work. And hey, some industries pay less than others, or that work is not considered so skilled, so I get it, but still. One last thought I want to leave you with. I like to help people, and I do a lot of work for free. I do honorary work. You could say it's charitable. It's kind of like philanthropy. So when people ask me that, look, how are we supposed to gauge your value if you don't disclose your salary? That's how they corner me. I say, hey, I do half of my work for free. Does that mean you're going to not pay me anything? It leaves them speechless. And on that note, I would like to thank you for listening. Please do subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. You can also find us on Facebook, LinkedIn. We upload a lot of written content which would be useful for you to read, I'm sure, on LinkedIn. Instagram, and even Telegram. And please do share, subscribe as I said, and if you have any comments or questions, please ask or mention them, and I will respond as best as I can. Till next time, please do take care. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.